How's it going, guys? What I wanted to talk about in this video is something that I see come up occasionally on different forums and things like that, and that question is a 1911 safe to be carried cocked and locked? And there's just a few things that I want to talk about when we consider that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take this one, and you can see that it was cocked and locked. Okay, we're going to set this out of the way, and as you can see, there is no magazine in the gun and there is nothing in the chamber, so we are now safe. Typically when we're talking about a 1911 being carried cocked and locked, sometimes known as condition 1, basically what it will be, the hammer will be in the back position with the safety on. There are some people that get nervous when it comes to carrying a 1911 like this. It doesn't bother me. I've not really had any issues myself or really any concerns, and I really don't think you should either. Of course, we have here my Taurus PT 1911 chambered in 45 ACP. You have seen it in some of my other videos. This is a very good gun. I really like this gun. So, when we are talking about carrying the gun cocked and locked, a lot of people are concerned about something happening and the gun accidentally going off, having a negligent discharge. For the most part, with a 1911, you really don't have to worry about that, guys. The safeties on these things are very robust. They hold up very well. There is really no issues with them. I have never heard of a 1911 that was being carried cocked and locked ever going off on its own. Okay? Never have. Now, if any of you guys have, if you've heard stories about that happening, let me know down in the comments below, because I'd like to hear about it. Typically, if you look at this gun, if you were to drop that gun, I want you to notice the position of the hammer. Okay, with that hammer, on most of them, you have a beaver tail on a lot of these guns. Even those that it's where it's a little bit shorter, the fact is, if you were to drop the gun and something were to come down on that hammer, that force basically is going to be pushing in this direction on that hammer. Okay, typically that is not going to cause that hammer to fall, and for a few reasons. Number one, you have got the grip safety. You also have the manual safety. But even if this manual safety is in the off position, you still have that grip safety. You also still have the trigger. You know, if that trigger is not depressed, if that grip safety is not depressed, the hammer is not going to fall. You would literally, you could break that hammer before you would make that gun go off. And typically it would take a striking force from underneath basically to drive that up. Some models, I know, like on the Series 70, I know that one of the so-called drop safety issues that is out there for some is if you drop it on the nose, the firing pin in some of those models, there's supposedly enough inertia that they can go forward and actually cause a negligent discharge. Again, I've never really heard of anyone who has had that problem. I recognize that I'm sure that it has happened in the past, but I think with most modern 1911s, especially those that are like this one, the Series 80 type 1911s that have the firing pin block, you absolutely do not have anything to worry about on those. I mean, when that goes, if it were to be dropped, you do have a mechanical block in there that is going to keep that firing pin from going forward. I've talked about that in other videos between the Series 70s and Series 80s. You might want to go and check that out. So if you are someone who is concerned about carrying a 1911 cocked and locked, don't worry about it. I think that if it's something that you choose to carry, you're not going to have any trouble with it. You just need to remember your safety procedures. Now, the holster that you have can play into this. I actually did another video talking about how that some holsters with the thumb strap can actually knock the gun off of safe when you put that strap on. You might want to check it out. But even in a condition like this, unless the grip safety is depressed, that hammer's still not going to fall. Now, just to double check, which we already have once, but it's always better to be safe. Okay, nothing in the gun whatsoever. Okay, our safety is off unless that grip safety is engaged. You can see I am pressing that trigger and the gun is not going off. That hammer is not going to fall, and it won't until I depress that grip safety. I depress that grip safety like I normally would when I have a grip on the gun, and with the manual safety disengaged, it will allow that hammer to fall, but only then, as you can see. Okay, so if you are interested in carrying a 1911, don't let the naysayers scare you into not being willing to carry that gun cocked and locked. If you have a good quality holster, you know, that gun, if it's a good reputable company, a good reputable manufactured firearm, then you will not have any issues with it. Anyways, guys, just a quick video that I wanted to do. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you carry a 1911, and would you carry a 1911 cocked and locked? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, guys, check out all the links down below. It would also be very helpful if you would share these videos. That way it kind of helps to overcome YouTube shadow banning. Check out the rest of my videos on the channel if you like 1911s. I've got several different videos on 1911s on my channel, so go over and check those out. Let me hear from you guys. Visit my website at boomsticktactical.com, and we'll see you next time.